Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today, we're jumping into something I think many of us have, well, definitely wrestled with. Home improvement.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Specifically, we're looking at sliding door mechanisms. You know, those things that can be just so frustrating.
Oh, absolutely.
Our mission today is really to unpack this everyday headache, figure out why it happens, and maybe explore some better solutions that are actually out there.
Sounds good.
So we've got some really interesting notes here, including this story from Aang about their recent saga with an aging house.
Right.
They had this glass door roller, and it broke. Again, just from daily use.
A familiar story for many, I'd guess.
Totally. And what Aang thought would be a quick run to the hardware store, grab a standard part, maybe 30 minutes work.
Yeah.
It turned into basically a whole weekend project.
Wow. Just for a roller.
Just for the roller.
Yeah.
Apparently, the intricate alignment needed for that tiny roller against a slider was just incredibly difficult. I imagine, some of you listening are probably nodding right now.
Oh, I'm sure. It really resonates. And Aang's experience, it perfectly highlights the many drawbacks of these standard roller systems.
Like what, specifically?
Well, like Aang pointed out, they get stuck so easily, they get noisy, and they're just difficult to maintain. It's
Right.
not just one bad part. It's kind of the whole design. These systems put the door's entire weight on those little wheels at the bottom.
Oh, okay.
So they're really vulnerable to, like, dirt, dust, even tiny bumps in the floor. The slightest thing throws off that alignment.
Even a millimeter, like Aang found.
Exactly. A tiny deviation, and it starts binding, wearing unevenly, and then you get that awful sticking, and eventually it just breaks again.
So it's less about simple wear and tear and more about a fundamental issue with how the weight is handled.
Precisely. It's
Yeah.
a design limitation.
Okay, so Aang got frustrated with this, understandably, and actually used AI quite cleverly to look for real innovations.
That's interesting. Using AI for home improvement research.
Yeah, and what Aang found seems like a really fundamental shift. So what did they actually uncover? What's the alternative?
Well, the research pointed towards something called a top-hung and bifold combined mechanism.
Top hung and bifold. Okay, break that down for us.
Sure. So top-hung basically means the door hangs from a strong track above the door frame.
Instead of rolling on the floor.
Exactly. It's suspended. And bifold just means the door folds in sections, like an accordion, rather than sliding as one big panel.
Oh, got it.
And the combination, the top-hung bifold, it means super smooth movement, and it stacks away really neatly, maximizing the opening.
That sounds completely different. So it's not just tweaking the roller, it's a whole new approach to the physics.
It really is. Suspending the door from above, that's the game changer.
Why is that so much better than the floor rollers?
Well, think about it. The door's weight isn't grinding on that bottom track anymore.
Which is where all the dirt collects.
Right. So you eliminate that main friction point, you eliminate the debris problem. You're not fighting gravity and floor grime in the same way. The weight's managed from above, making it inherently more stable, much more durable, and just significantly smoother.
Okay, that sounds much, much better. Almost too good to be true. Are there downsides? Like, did Aang find anything about cost or installation complexity?
That's a fair question. And yes, generally these top-hung systems, especially bifolds, they do have a higher upfront cost,
Right, I figured.
both for the parts and the installation. It needs proper overhead support, so it's not usually a quick DIY swap like changing a roller.
Okay.
But the argument is about the long-term value. Less maintenance, way better performance, better use of space. For someone tired of that constant roller battle, it might well be worth the investment for, peace of mind.
So we've gone from Aang's frustration with that broken roller through their
Yeah.
sort of tech-savvy search for something better,
Yeah, using AI.
to discovering these really promising alternatives like the top-hung bifold that just change the whole equation by managing the weight differently.
Exactly. And it really brings up a bigger point, doesn't it, for all of us homeowners?
What's that?
It's this question of balance. Do you go for the quick fix? Just replace the broken part, even if you know it might break again.
The path of least resistance, maybe.
Or do you actually look for and maybe invest in a genuinely better solution, something that tackles the root cause? It makes you think about how you approach maintenance versus true innovation in your own home. Is the slightly harder path now worth avoiding those recurring headaches later?
A really interesting thought to leave people with. When is good enough truly not good enough anymore?
Precisely. When is it time for a better solution?